Tyler, you aren't scary.
But Tiller.
Nope, you're done.
Fine.
Hey there guys, this is Tyler and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be doing another classic ranking worst to best video. Now I ranked the FNaF games and Bendy chapters, but what now? Well, the thing we'll be ranking today is not a game. They're actually a series of videos. Those being, drumroll please. Okay, yeah, you read the title, and that's why you clicked on the video. But today, we're going to be ranking FNaF Freddy's VHS by Squimpus McGrimpus. Before we begin, I'm going to go in and say something real quick. Back then, I thought FNaF VHS was overrated and dumb. I'm not kidding. I thought this series was nothing to write home about, and that the finale was literally a piece of garbage. But before you click off, let me say that my opinion has changed. I really like FNaF VHS now, and I can't believe that I did not like it before. There are a few duds, but a lot of goods and greats in this amazingness of a series by Squimpus, and with the entries ranked close to best, we'll get into why. Now, only rule to this, I'm only covering FNaF VHS, not the .mp4 videos. The reason being is that Squimpus has declared those videos non-canon, and let's just respect the story, shall we? Don't worry though, the .mp4s are really good. Here's my current ranking on those. As well, this is my personal opinion. It's okay to think differently. Now with that out of the way, let's get straight into this diamond of a series. Now this is only decent. Not bad, not mediocre, not even good, just decent. That's saying a lot if the worst of the series is only just decent and nothing worse. So this is basically an interaction between Bonnie and Chica, which admittedly can bring in some intrigue. But besides that, there really isn't much to it. That's the main problem. It's low in substance. And another thing is, there's no creepy twist at the end. It's just the old music being played in the pizzeria with the camera just looking at the dining room. That could be considered creepy to people, I guess, but it's not creepy for me. Here, I'll get into this exact detail in the form of examples later with most of the ones coming up. But the number one thing that makes FNaF VHS really good is how it's clean and somewhat normal at the beginning, but it turns into a complete hellfire of creepiness as the video goes on, especially at the end. Most of the time, it uses creepy psychological horror to scare the viewers instead of just normal jump scares from the FNaF games. It makes the videos stand out and give a more rich atmosphere in the horror department. It's honestly genius. But since that's really non-existent in the ending to this video, that's a major flaw. It just makes this one less memorable as the others coming up on the list. Therefore, in my opinion, security footage is the worst of FNaF VHS, but it's only decent and not bad or mediocre. Oh boy, the finale of the series. And for a finale, it's actually not disappointing. Although the video itself is only decent and not good, we'll get to why it's good in terms of finales. Now, it has almost the same exact problems as security footage, where it's extremely dialogue heavy, which makes it low in substance in both the horror and imagery department. I know FNaF VHS has a story, and admittedly, I really like the story in it, but when the story is being told through the tapes, it needs some clever imagery, no matter if it's horrific or not, to keep the viewer still interested. However, just like security footage, the dialogue does bring in some intrigue, but I still stand by my other point I just mentioned before regarding the low substance. Now, what makes this better than security footage is the last 2 to 3 minutes. It actually picks up with some creepiness at first with banging sound effects and what seems to be Fazbear's Fright, and has the return of Afton, or Criminal. Then we get the final scene where it shows all of the dead children's names with their birth and death dates, including Charlie, Michael, and the crying child who's referred to as Joseph. Yeah, by the way, FNaF VHS's story is actually an AU and doesn't follow the FNaF canon, as said by Squimpus himself in an interview ran by GoMotion. It's actually a pretty good interview. Now back to the review, I love this final scene. The music is well chosen because it brings in the feels, the overall uniqueness of what it is, and just in general, it really does cap off the series, and is the reason why I said earlier this is not a disappointment for a finale. It gets the job done. To be honest with you guys, the ending almost saved this video. It was close to being good, but the first 4 minutes are what makes this just only decent. On to the next one. This is the second ever FNaF VHS tape by Squimpus, and I gotta say, it's pretty good. I really like the effects done here. The video gets creepy when Bonnie's moving and the whole ending with the puppet. The concept of the video in general is pretty unique, and all around, not bad for a second. It can also get pretty realistic too. Plus, the fact there's almost no music or sounds, apart from the static during the testing portion of the video, makes it much more ominous and creepy. My only real con is it won't be as memorable as the others coming up. The other ones definitely stand out much more, but Bonnie joint movement testing is still pretty good. This one's concept is just genius. It's a sound check response on pre-Wizard Chica, and it's pretty good. The effects here once again are really good, which will be the case with all of these videos, and what Chica says for the sound response is pretty interesting and clever, and gets somewhat emotional, which can bring in the creepiness. The only con with this one is the beeping sounds throughout the video can get pretty annoying. I know it's intentional for them to be there, but still. With that out of the way, let's just say I didn't even say my favorite parts about this video yet, and those are the disturbing image of Susie and the final frame of the video. Holy crap, those give me the creeps. And that's a good thing since this is meant to be creepy. At the end of the day, this one's a true great video. Now we got the first FNaF VHS Squimpus video, and for our first introduction, it's really good. It introduces each element / aspect that would make FNaF VHS what it is. The great effects, the good Withered Freddy model, the music and sound design choices, the fact this feels like a manual, and the best part of this video, the little surprise at the end where the torso is opened.
Finally, take the torso piece and lift it upward until it is completely removed. Climb inside the torso and accept your death.
A sensor box appears, and blood appears where his, ding-dong would be. And the voice in the video tells you to climb in so it can kill you, and the final frame is the place gets dark with Withered Freddy's eyes glowing. It's just so sudden that it can make the viewer jump from their seat in shock. Honestly, what a great first video. So this is the first animated video in the FNaF VHS series, and I gotta say, it's really good. It really feels like an 80s to 90s cartoon, especially with the animation style, the effects, the decent writing, the well-chosen background music, and the pretty good voice acting. Also, about the background music.
Hey there, Buccaneers! The pirate course show's beginning in about 3 sailor minutes. In your lingo, that would be...
Is that SpongeBob music? Now that's pretty epic. Then, like the other videos, it goes completely downhill with the
Viewing of this tape is prohibited. Discard it immediately.
Dialogue, giving it a more off-tone feel to the animation, and it's pretty good. As well, the fact it's counting down to kids getting murdered as well gives it a certain feeling. And the ominous ending just gives me some chills. Especially Purple Guy's appearance and the whole go 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 thing. Just... This is a great one, worth watching. Now this one is something. At first it feels like a normal company PSA, focusing on Fred, Bear, and Spring Bonnie. The VHS effects again are really good, and it's quite interesting to watch. Then it turns all creepy when the voice starts claiming things like Fred, Bear, and Spring Bonnie don't exist, and other things don't exist.
Fredbear does not exist. Spring Bonnie does not exist. Nothing happened to anyone. He does not exist.
And I don't exist.
That has to be one of the most disturbing things in this series, and it's not even related to the footage. It's freaking audio! That's how good this series by Squimpus is. It succeeds in the psychological horror in both footage and audio. Then actual horrific image does appear, and it's just some ominous shots of Golden Freddy. I have nothing to say, but this is just another great and creepy FNaF VHS video by Squimpus McGrimpus. Now we're getting into the top 5, and as the 5th best is non-existent video. To start off, I like the fact Fred and Spring Bonnie get more focus at the beginning and end of the video like company PSA. It makes it more interesting, and the effects are probably at their best here. They're really good again in this one. There's also the fact this connects the previous 4 VHS tapes with the FNaF 1 game, and that this one is about the big man himself, Golden Freddy. Plus we got some damn excellent lore offered here with the execution being great. Hell, the sound effects are creepy. It's just like Company PSA where the video can even scare you with audio. But the thing I liked the best in this video is the ending with Afton where he says, that's actually emotional and beautiful, which is admirable in a storytelling perspective. This one in the series is underrated as hell, and I highly recommend this one. Damn, this one hits me like a brick. Let's just start off with the fact the best part about this video is the beginning with the slideshow of realistic and old Freddy's images that are in a purposefully low resolution, and the music during this scene's the best piece of the FNaF VHS soundtrack. It captures nostalgia feelings pretty well, and makes an actual perfect, yes perfect, combination with the footage and music where it solidifies the point these are meant to be past memories, whether it be really good or really bad. The whole scene is just emotional, it really is. Then we get to Afton, where it portrays wonderfully about how he has zero remorse for anything he's done. It just brings in more character to William than he had in the FNaF series. In the FNaF games, William was just, I kill people and do bad things because I like it! But in FNaF VHS, Afton has an actual personality and depth into who he is. It's absolutely well crafted. And my final point, which I probably have said for the millionth time, the effects in this one are really damn good. Nothing to say, but this is worthy of the 4th best in the series. And heads up, the next 3 are almost as good as this one was. So yeah, that's your indicator. This was actually the video where I first heard about FNaF VHS, and when I sat down to watch it, I remember really liking it and thinking it was really good. And since it's at the 3rd best, you can tell that opinion still stands for me. Let's just start off with the fact this really does feel like a training video. The animation, sounds, effects, and all of that makes it seem like one. But then the video gets really good with the inclusion of Springtrap, especially at the end, when he's yelling for Michael. It just sounds threatening, and the sound effects during it just make it all the more intensified. Nothing else to this one besides what I've already mentioned, and the fact I'm happy this was the video I first heard about FNaF VHS from. This is one of, if not, the most iconic video in the series, all because of the ending, but we'll get there. Let's just start off with the fact I love how it's focused around the facial recognition systems of the toy animatronics, a feature the toys have in FNaF 2 that a lot of people tend to forget. The fact this centers around it is unique, and the execution of the testing is pretty good. The effects are also really good here again, and the voice acting here is the same way. Really good. Now, when Toy Bonnie leaves his position and attacks the employee, that's when the video starts to get creepy. But then, there's the ending. This ending is the most iconic thing to come out of the series, but it's also the most creepiest and scariest thing I've ever seen in anything FNaF related. I'm not kidding. Get ready, because let's play the ending.
Criminal, 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 criminal.
Yeah. But the ending being really creepy is the main reason why I love this video to pieces. The psychological horror is probably used at its best here, and all around, this is an amazing video. Also, fun fact, the criminal is based off of a former United States Representative, Tom DeLay. Pretty interesting choice. I love this video, period. It has everything FNaF VHS represents. The psychological horror, the great writing, the great effects, the great ideas, just great everything. First off, the animation, just like Pirate Cove pre-show, captures the feel of cheap 80s to 90s animation really well, and has great VHS effects to help with the execution of that idea. The voice acting is also really good here too, and the overall great writing in this even adds some comedic touches in the animated portion.
What's so bad about food fights? I like 'em.
I don't know. Clean it up and find out.
But then when the video gets creepy, like with the cartoony Chica turning into pre-withered Chica, the really bizarre and demonic Fredbear plushie with the flower frolicking, and the creepy images with the fire background. It's all executed perfectly. Yep, perfectly. See, this is the video that defines FNaF VHS by Squimpus McGrimpus. It has all the elements of a FNaF VHS video put together, and the final result and execution is basically a masterpiece. If you want to know why FNaF VHS is considered a great fan series, this is the video you want to see. And not just this one, anything in the top 5 are really other videos to back up the claim that this series is genius. Well, with everything stated previously, this is why, in my opinion, Animated Cartoon is the best video in the FNaF VHS series by Squimpus McGrimpus. Well guys, that was in my opinion the rankings from worst to best of Squimpus' FNaF VHS series. Please do check out this series of his, it's that good. I cannot believe I used to call this series overrated. This series is actually a gem in the fan-made content of a diamond of a video game series. Thank you Squimpus for making such a great series that brought something new to FNaF. Well, I hope you all did enjoy. In the description below will contain this playlist to FNaF VHS, as well as my Discord server, Twitter, Instagram, Tyler Extras, the server just to my Minecraft Java Edition server, my FNaF AR username and friend code, and the Games World page for Tyler Tales of Quest for Cheese. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye everybody.